Yo guys, what's up? I hope everyone's doing great and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and like minimalist menswear, make sure to check out my other stuff, check out my content, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and welcome to today's video, which is about the best time of the year. Actually, fall is here and I have a couple of fall related videos lined up, and I'm toying with the idea of which one goes online first. I think this one should be online first because I have boots, and this video is, of course, from the title you can see boots selection that I think are noteworthy combat style boots. So if you love combat boots, you're gonna love this video, so stick around. So first off, let me talk a bit about this style of boot and why I really love it. One of the best things about military derived clothing, which I've said a couple of times on my channel, and I love it the most, is the fact that it's really functional. It's like function first and form follows. So usually military derived pieces are high quality in construction and robust, and they age really well. But when it comes to design, it's a bit pared back, and that's exactly what we love. As someone who appreciates minimalist stuff, you really have little room for ornamentation, so I love these styles. One of my favorite combat boots, of course, is the goat and the OG work of Dior, Navigate. And I think this boot is really awesome because it really took the archive of older military styles from the World War II, from Germany, Austria, the US, and then really took the best of it, streamlined it to a modernized silhouette of a boot, chose leather materials that are probably more easier to break in and more supple and more artisanal and craftsmanship related, made in Italy, making this boot really adaptable to the urban scenario in which this is going to be ultimately used, like people like us in the city. So big props to that. Most of the shoes that you'll see in today's video in my selection are inspired by the your Navigate, or at least try and have some fundamentals of that design laid out into them. So without further ado, let's look at the selection. So I think the right way to go about this is go from the most accessible one to the most artisanal one. And the first one I have for you guys is this Leo leather lace-up boot from Banana Republic. I think this is a really nice initiative by Banana Republic. They seem to be studying their trends well, and this is looking like a very high quality boot. It has very similar feel to Dior Navigate. Of course, it appears to be more chunkier, but seems to be made really well, made in Portugal, has a lug outsole already, so you don't need to go take it to the Vibram to get a Vibram from your barber, from your shoesmith. And you essentially are getting that tactical style with this. It's kind of looking more like a desert boot when I look at it now, but definitely the price point is a bit steeper because there's more leather involved in this, and this being a leather lined shoe, 330 seems to be a decent price. I have no experience buying shoes from Banana Republic, but Banana Republic has always been like a somewhat accessible, decent quality stuff ever. If I've always tried their clothes, and they've never been too good or too bad, but this boot could be good. So for the first one, I have this as my selection. For the second boot, I have chosen the Thursday Boot Company Explorer. Now, Thursday Boot is very popular today, and you see it from time to time. There's a ton of videos about them on the YouTube space, and Thursday Boot, essentially being a boot manufacturer, I'm sure is a very high quality boot in a similar price, maybe cheaper than Banana Republic. What I love about the Explorer is that it essentially is more like a hiking boot, but it could pass off easily as a combat boot. This boot just seems rugged. I think it's for the Explorer in you, and for totally meant for the outdoors. What I particularly love about this boot, and does remind me a lot of the silhouette of your Navigate, is the clean line that passes through the sideway of the boot. And that is something that I always like with the Dior Navigate, because when you have traditional boots, they have a semicircular cut, and that just looks a bit, organic and floral in terms of design, and does not really sit well with my other clothing, which is more boxy and has more clean line stuff. So that is why I love this one. Thursday boots could be great if you want, an adventurous sort of a boot. Next up, we have the All Saints Tobias leather boots. This one I think is favorite of mine from the selection today. If I had to pick one, this would be probably the one that I would pick up. I love the fact that this boot is again also made in Portugal and is derived from classic military boot shape. Doesn't have too much going on. It's just a black chunk of 10 eyelet combat boot. I think it's a 9 eyelet or a 10, but anything above 8 will give you that taller height. So that is also something else to keep in mind, that Doc Martens 1460, the ones that I had, is an 8 eyelet boot. So although it's a nice boot and although you might get the look, if you are taller, you need something that climbs a bit higher up your shaft, up your ankle, just in order to create that silhouette that we all love about the combat boot. So it's my personal preference to have at least 9 to 10, maybe more if you're comfortable with that. And also the look is just perfectly crisp with those. I think the Tobias boot, the leather really looks more like a far-fetched, but it's gonna be more like Guidi or and the Mister. Like it has that matted out, worn-in sort of a look. So I think this toe box shape is also very very subtly refined, and overall it's clean. You see that the missing element here is that it has two semicircular arches, and that breaks the design completely for me. I wish they had a linear stitch line. And then finally I have the odd one in this video, which I think is also a great one. It's called Vagabond Shoes Johnny 2.0. Now Vagabond, I've had friends who really swear by their boots, and they wear their Vagabond boots every year when the fall turns around, and they absolutely love it. I believe they are also made in Portugal. I think Portugal's really become the sort of accessible tire, right, sitting below Italy and France in terms of leather. Portugal and Spain have certainly got craftsmanship and heritage the way the other European counterparts do, but they are more accessible. So I would definitely be very interested if a boot says that it's made in Spain or Portugal. And this one seems to be just about right. The only grief I have with this boot or such type of boots is that I do not like combat boots with zips. I think that defeats the entire purpose. It is a lace up boot, and yes, you're going to take 5 minutes to put it on, but I think that is essential. I really love the idea of slow life. I really love the interaction with the item that you have. Not everything needs to be app fast and instant. I think the joy of taking care of your stuff goes a long way, and the way you put it on, the way you take it off, the way you do the aftercare for it goes a long way too. This, in my personal opinion. I hope you vibe with the same. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. So this is my roundup for a selection of combat boots that I would be interested in buying. I already have my combat boot, which will be revealed here on the channel soon. So stay tuned for that. It is an older military issued boot, and I really love it. I'm breaking them in as we speak, and it's painful, but it just is the worth the effort, because once you break in such leather, it's gonna age beautifully and fit you like a glove, especially if you dial in the size right. So other than that, I think that I'm headed in a good space. I am aiming to put out more content. I am seeing my subscriber count grow surely, slowly but surely, and I'm really happy and thankful for all of you who watch the videos. I really believe that the minimalist space is something that I find less stuff of on the internet, and I do want to create a space where it's more about the style and more about classic menswear stuff. But anyway, enough of that rant. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, if you did, make sure to like it, and until next time, wherever you are, Have a good one. Latest. Bye bye.